What's going on YouTube? Jelani from JelaniTheMarketer.com here, back again with another video, and in this video I'm going to tell you how you can make $1,000 per month just by selling domain names. But before we get into that, definitely subscribe and hit that alert button if you're new to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you like this type of content. I'm always doing videos per day, and I'm also doing random giveaways sometimes, so you definitely want to comment. But also I love to interact with you guys, so leave a comment down below. And if you like this type of video, give me a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm and other people seeing this type of content. But let's get right into it. Alright, so let me just tell you a quick story before I tell you the actual method. So when I first got started in the internet marketing world about 2.5, 3 years ago, I was looking for ways to how to make money online. And I came across this website. I think it's called the Penny Hoarder or something like that, something along those lines. Can't remember the exact name. But it was talking about domain selling, okay? And I got really interested in it, and for like about 6 months I was like obsessed with it, and I really liked the idea of buying a domain name and actually selling it. Now, most people don't realize that when you buy a domain name, you actually don't own it. What happens is you're actually leasing it basically from the, I guess, the ICANN, which is like the internet, I forget what it stands for, but basically you're leasing the domain name, right? Unless you trademark it and then you have to buy that domain name. There's like all these different things you have to go through, but you're leasing the domain when you buy it. You don't really own it. So I thought that was really cool. So what I ended up doing, and I actually have a video talking about this exact thing, was outbound domain selling, meaning that I would buy a domain and then I would look for a person. There's different tools out there, and I can actually pull some tools for you in the description that will look at brands, right? Or look at services or companies that have a similar name, and then you can do outbound research and outbound emails to them and get in contact with the people who own the company, do some negotiation, and then boom, you can sell the domain name that's along the line. So essentially what I did was I found a domain name, and I was a part of this forum where people were like, that domain name will never sell, dude, like whatever. But I did that research, right? I found a company that had a similar name, but they didn't own the .com, which is really valuable. And I went out there, researched, found the email, found the guy who owned the company, reached out to them, and boom, I was in conversation with them. They bought my domain name that I bought for like 20 bucks. They didn't know it existed, but I resold it for like 125 or like 150 bucks, but that was quick money, right? So what you can do is you can go out there and find domain names that are .com specific. You want the top level domain. The .com is very, very valuable in the domain industry. So look for the .coms. But one thing you can do that's really, really, I think, unique is you can use other platforms like YouTube. You can use Instagram, even Facebook. You can use these different platforms. Look for big socialites, look for influencers, look for brands that may not have trademarks, may not really understand the value of a .com domain name. Maybe they're on a .co, maybe they're on a .io, maybe they are just on a .org, right? But the value is in the .com. So what you do is look for these companies, these brands, these influencers that may not own the domain name that's the .com, and then once you find that specific company or the specific influencer, then you can go buy that .com domain name and then reach out to them and say, hey, I own this domain name. I want more. I would love to talk more about how you can potentially own this domain name. If you want, we can set up a call, we can set up an email, whatever, right? You just want to make sure you're sparking that introduction to them, not sounding spammy, not sounding like someone that's trying to rip them off, but someone that's trying to help them, right? Of service. You kind of position it in that way, and then you kind of lead with value, right? You say the .com domain name has a lot of value. More people will want to go to your site because of the .com. They're more familiar with .com. They're not as familiar with .co. They're not as familiar with .io, right? But they are familiar with .com, right? So if you kind of position it that way and lead with that, most people will understand the value of it and they will like to have a conversation with you. Now, .coms go for a lot of money. You can sell a domain name for $4,000. You can sell a domain name for $10,000. You can sell a domain name for $30,000. There's been domain names that have sold for millions of dollars, right? Tesla.com sold for like $10 million, like $11 million, something like that, something crazy. But the .com is really, really powerful, especially when you're talking to influencers who understand that branding is so important. And when you're talking to brands who understand that branding is so important, they're willing to spend a little bit more money on that .com. Okay, guys? So although this method does take a bit of research, you want to look for influencers that don't own the domain for their specific name or stage name or brand etc. And then you're going to buy that, and then you're going to do some outbound research. You may not get in contact with the person the first time around, but if you keep researching different people who are in the company or who are around that person, and try again, you can most likely get in contact with someone who can get you in contact with the right person to talk to when it comes to the negotiation process. Now, if you want to check out the video where I actually show you the email I sent to the person, etc., go check that out. There will be a link down below to that specific video, and you can kind of see what I did in terms of emailing that person to get in contact with them, what I said, and how the negotiation process went. Although it wasn't $1,000 at the time, right? $150 was like the first amount of money I ever made online. It was really, really cool. Now, if you do this over and over again, you can definitely sell domain names and make over $1,000 per month, especially when it's for big influencers and big brands. You want to make sure that you're pricing it accordingly. You're not trying to rip them off and kind of be like $20,000 for a domain name, right? Especially if you're just getting started and you don't really have the negotiation tactics to really get to that point. That you kind of want to build up the repertoire when it comes to that, right? So you kind of want to start small. Maybe just do like a $300 domain name sell, maybe a $500 domain name sell, and then just kind of keep doing it. Now, like I said, this is just a strategy. This is not me saying you can make, $1 million doing this, but it is a way to make money online because I personally have done it before. So it's definitely something to look into if you're looking to, kind of look for unique ways. Maybe you're in a pinch and you need some money. This could work for you. It just takes a bit of research to find those companies, those brands, and those influencers who don't own the .com of their specific naming convention, right? So I hope this was an informative video, but like I said, if you want more info, check out that video where I explain how I sold that domain name, how I purchased it, etc. You can also get some really cool golden nuggets when it comes to the domaining industry in that specific video. But guys, leave a comment down below if you like this type of content. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and leave a comment because I'm always doing random giveaways. You never know when I'm going to do that, so leave a comment. And subscribe. Hit that alert button so you know when I post a new video. Check me out on Instagram at JelaniTheMarketer, and check out my blog, blog.JelaniTheMarketer.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.